This is a Beargrass Black History moment covering the 1918 Influenza Pandemic. Reverend G. W. Ward was the third pastor of Beargrass. Born into slavery in Bourbon County, he joined Company E-12 USCHA and served in the U.S. Army during the Civil War. He attended State University, the forerunner of Simmons University, now Simmons College of Kentucky. He was Beargrass's minister during the years of the 1918 through 1920 influenza pandemic, often referred to as the Spanish flu, which struck the United States, affecting an estimated 500 million worldwide and also resulting in a large number of deaths in Kentucky and in the entire United States. While pastor, he had health problems unrelated to the flu, which caused his death in 1922. Prior to Reverend Ward's death, the church hired Reverend Gerald H. Winstead as the acting pastor in 1918. Reverend Winstead, born in Nebo, Kentucky, was a graduate of Simmons University and Central Law School. During the influenza pandemic years, both ministers served the church well, seeing it through the storm of uncertainty and death, reminiscent of the times that the church is now undergoing. At the same time, Simmons University, the college they had both attended, was hoping to expand the campus with new buildings and to increase its student endowment. Written appeals to churches were sent out. The flyer shown, probably issued in 1919, signed by the college president, Reverend Charles H. C.A. Parrish, was in the Beargrass Church files. Simmons established in 1879, and Beargrass in 1880 had close connections because Reverend E.P. Mars served as the school's first administrator and the church's first pastor. Prayers for both establishments included asking the Lord to see all connected through the hardships and shower both with blessings upon blessings. This is our continued prayer, not only for our church, but for our nation and the world. This is a Beargrass Black History moment covering our 19th church anniversary.
One of our church's earliest documents is a handbill announcing its 19th anniversary, which was a 3-day event culminating on Sunday, February the 12th, 1899. Reverend Elijah Preston Mars, known as E.P. Mars, was the pastor. He was one of the church's 1880 organizers and its first minister. On the flyer is a listing of church officers, which include those who also organized the church. Each night leading up to the final day of celebration was filled with noted ministers speaking and the president of State University, now known as Simmons College of Kentucky. Sunday was the banner day with Reverend Mars giving the morning message and other ministers followed by lunch before the afternoon events. All churches in Jefferson County were invited. Members of the Grand Army of the Republic, known as GAR, composed of former Union Civil War soldiers, including African American men, as Centennial Baptist Church's pastor John Wesley J.W. Lewis, also a former Beargrass pastor, Reverend Charles Campbell Bates, pastor of Lambton Baptist Church, and others. Reverend Mars, also a veteran and office holder of a GAR Louisville post, knew a number of former African American veterans who attended Louisville churches and would have invited them to attend the function. African American benevolent organizations as the United Brothers of Friendship and the Sisters of the Mysterious Ten, Sons of Honor, Women's Relief Corps, and others, as indicated on the handbill, were to attend the anniversary celebration. Sunday, February the 12th, was filled with all manner of people celebrating in the Lord with the members of Beargrass as they observed their 19th anniversary. This day was planned for a huge celebration with people who had memories of enslavement where they couldn't have celebrated together on property they owned as a group 36 years earlier.
This has been a Black History moment. This is a Beargrass Black History moment, covering a grand picnic which occurred on Monday, August 13th, 1900. From the Beargrass Baptist Church file is an August 13th, 1900 flyer announcing a grand picnic to be given by Green Street Baptist, Beargrass Baptist, and Cable Street Baptist churches and Sunday schools on August 13th, 1900. Music, games with prizes, sack races, and singing would all take place at Fern Grove, a leisure and picnicking area owned by the Louisville and Jefferson Ferry Company and was located on the Ohio River at the mouth of 14 Mile Creek near Charleston, Indiana. The churches would travel on the Columbia Steamboat, docking at the foot of First Street, leaving at 10 a.m. sharp. Fern Grove was named after the massive amount of ferns which grew in the area. The trip and picnic would be an all-day event, with persons returning home after 6 p.m. Reverend B.G. McClellan would deliver the sermon for the day. Committee planners for the excursion included Reverend Mars and Beargrass member Cicero Strickland. Steamers in the Columbia could hold as many as 400 to 500 people, which meant a number of other churches would have been booked for the trip. Tickets cost anywhere between 15 and 25 cents. I'm sure a grand and blessed time was had by all that day. This has been a Beargrass Black History Moment. This is a Beargrass Black History Moment, covering our African American female taxicab driver, Sister Dorothy Gibson.
Segregation has always been a part of the history of the United States, which includes what happened to African Americans in cities like Louisville. Everything was separate and unequal. Taxicab service was available, but taxis driven or owned by Louisville African Americans took a while to come about. White female drivers were hired during World War II, after all the white male drivers left to serve in various branches of the U.S. military. Dorothy Howard Gibson, a Beargrass Baptist Church member, made history as becoming one of Louisville's first African American taxi drivers. This is what she had to say in a 2002 interview.
I don't remember what got me interested in driving a taxi cab. I was one of the first black women in Louisville to drive a cab. There were about 5 of us who drove cabs in the city of Louisville. White women were already driving cabs.
This occurred after Dorothy graduated from high school. She was a proud graduate of the Central Colored High School class of 1932 and a half. Colored was dropped in 1945 at the insistence of students. She started working for Liberty Cab, an African American company, a while later. Back then, there were cab companies for white folks and cab companies for black folks. Liberty was a cab service for African Americans. Others were Star Cab, City, and Lincoln Cab Company. The cab companies were located in Louisville's old Walnut Street neighborhood, where there were African American owned businesses, homes, and social clubs. The area extended on Walnut Street, 6th and 13th Streets, and surrounding areas, now named Muhammad Ali Boulevard.
I made a lot of money during the Derby. We go to the airport, pick them up, and take them down to the track. Black folks rode in cabs run by black cab companies. I take them to places like Charlie Moore's and other black nightclubs and eateries.
Such places were located in the Walnut Street African American community. She continued to drive her cab for 10 years. Then later she opened a cleaners called Dot's Cleaners. We applaud Dorothy Gibson for her history-making life.
This has been a Beargrass Black History Moment.